What's up, Fiend Fam, and welcome to another video. So for this one, I'm going to talk about the 5 things new riders should know. Most of this can apply to riders of all experience, but it's mainly aimed at those who have just started riding or for those who want to get into riding. With that said, let's go. Number 1, the MSF course. Everyone should take the MSF course or its equivalent in your home country. The MSF BRC or Basic Rider course will get you familiar with the controls, how to operate, and how to safely do basic maneuvering on a motorcycle in a controlled atmosphere. It's infinitely better to have an instructor there who's been doing it for years help you with anything you might be struggling with, rather than getting out on the street on your family member or friend's bike only to loop it or end up crashing hard. Most insurances will offer a discount if you've taken the class, and some dealerships will even give you a gift certificate for part or all of the class's cost to put towards the purchase of a bike or riding gear. Not too bad for something you already should be taking anyway. Also, here in the States, they offer an intermediate and advanced class as well. Most of those are taken on your own bike. I've spoken to riders who've been on 2 wheels for decades, and they go back and take the basic course every few years, and they're always amazed that they learn something new to put in their bag of techniques. Once you pass and get your bike, do not forget to practice. Dedicating at least 30 minutes a week to practicing some emergency maneuvers, braking, or just simple things like turning from a stop, figure eights, or countersteering is definitely helpful. Number 2, ride your own ride. You've all seen or heard about riders out there who have been goaded into riding above their comfort or skill level, or they let some cager rattle them and they make a dumb mistake, and it's typically not ending well. You wouldn't go skydiving by yourself with no experience just because your friends were doing it. Riding a motorcycle is no different. It's okay to admit that you're uncomfortable doing something or that you feel something is beyond your capabilities as a rider. We don't want fear to rule over us, but we want to have a very healthy respect for what the bike can do and the trouble we can get to if we forget that. If your riding buddies are good people, they'll understand. If they don't, time to find new ones. Just as important is not letting cagers get you flustered. It's difficult sometimes as a new rider when you're out riding around and getting familiar with your bike and how traffic moves to have someone who's riding your tail or is impatient. The MSF course will teach you strategies for dealing with these situations, but the number one thing you can do is to calm down and act rationally. Getting flustered and doing something like dumping the clutch or giving it gas can lead to a whiskey throttle, being thrown from the bike, and having the bike totaled by the insurance company a few days later, not to mention the potential injuries to you. Ask me how I know. And it doesn't do anyone any good for you to get confrontational with the driver. They're in a hulking metal cage, you're on a motorcycle. One little oopsie by them means a really bad day for you. As an offshoot of that, get the bike that fits you and your plans best. Just because all of your riding buddies are on turbo boostas, super tall adventure bikes, or full-size baggers doesn't mean you have to as well. Be honest with yourself. Motorcycles are tools, and we want the best tool for the job. If you want to go out and climb the mountains of Central America, it doesn't make sense to buy a sport bike, just as you wouldn't buy an adventure bike to go take hot laps at your local racetrack. Also, it's okay to start and even stay with a small bike. When are we most likely to make mistakes? When we're either a new rider learning the ropes, or when we've been a long-time rider and get complacent in our skill set and awareness on the road. Here in the USA, a brand new rider can walk into a dealership and purchase a leader bike or a 900-pound baggers without any experience other than the MSF class or passing the road test. The MSF class teaches you how to learn how to ride your motorcycle. It's not a magic bullet. It's okay that if you decide you want to stay with a smaller sport bike, cruiser, or dual sport, and decide it's going to be your only bike. If it fits your needs, I say go with it. More money for parts, gear, and trips. Number 3, gear is important. Now that you've decided on what kind and size of bike you want, it's important to consider gear. Don't get me wrong, I'm not part of the ACAT police, but I will tell you that wearing gear makes a huge difference. If you tell yourself you can't afford gear, you're wrong. Just like motorcycles need gas to run, gear should be part of your initial purchase. You don't need to go out and spend thousands, but I'd recommend setting aside at least $500 to $1,000 for gear. If you're buying a new bike, some dealerships won't cut a deal on price, but if you ask them to throw in some gear, they may be very willing to do that. I don't judge others for not wearing gear, but think how much you'd rather have spent $500 or so on a nice textile jacket and riding jeans before your accident than to have to pick up the pieces after the fact. Bikes can be fixed or replaced. You can't. The great thing about gear is if you take care of it, it'll last many seasons. Number 4, the community. I don't care who you are, there's something about having our fists in the wind and the risk we accept every time we ride that makes it a shared experience with anyone else who does it. The rider wave is a big part of that. Some people don't believe in it, and that's their right. I wave to motorcycles, trikes, and even scooters. One more of us is one less cage around the road, and to me, that's a good thing. Riding just draws you to other riders if you want it to. You instantly have something in common, and for the most part, just about every biker loves to talk bikes, especially their own. So if you see a paint job that you like or hear a sweet sounding exhaust, say something. Riding can lead to so much more for you. You can make friends for life, have built-in riding buddies, and someone to help you with plans for your bike, or even help you wrench on your bike once those plans are made and the parts arrive. Unfortunately, there's an ugly side to things, bike style or brand snobbery. Like I said before, we're all riding, so there's that natural connection. Doesn't matter what you have. If you're on a leader bike, there's no harm in throwing a wave to a touring bike. Same goes for my fellow Harley riders. Let's break those mostly incorrect stereotypes. It's no secret that motorcycle riding isn't as big as it once was. Every rider out there is one more of us. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, it's because you already ride or you're looking to get into riding. Don't be one of those people. The person you're nice to today could bring other motorcyclists into the fold, and that's what we really need. Number 5, factor in all the costs. I left this one for last, but it doesn't mean that it's any less important. Too many new riders don't take into account the extended costs of a motorcycle. Before you even think about signing on the dotted line or handing over your hard-earned cash, call around and see how much insurance is. If you're on the younger side, getting a sport bike versus a dual sport or cruiser can be multiple hundreds of dollars in difference in a year. Don't forget to think about fuel and maintenance costs. Some bikes need their first service at 1,000 miles, some as low as 500 or 600 miles. Plan ahead so that you're not watching your baby collect dust while you save up for service or something else. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. If you did, please consider leaving a like. If you want more motorcycle content like this, go ahead and subscribe. I'm really all about giving back to the community, and as it grows, it'll allow me to do more and give back and help new riders just like I was helped by those who came before me. To that end, I'm having a contest soon. I'm a firm believer in paying it forward. I ordered a new pair of the Street MX gloves in 2 extra large size from ODIN Manufacturing, and through a shipping snafu, I was sent the wrong color. No biggie. I contacted them to let them know so they were aware in case my order got sent to the wrong person. They were super awesome and told me to keep the pair of gloves and they'd be shipping me out my original order. I didn't pay for them, so I don't think it's fair I should keep them, especially if I can help someone else. So I'm currently at 25 subscribers or so. Thank you to each and every one of you. I appreciate it more than you know, and I'm endeavoring to make my content worthy of your time. When I hit 30 subscribers, I'll do a random number generator to pick a winner. In order to be entered, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Leave a comment below about what you think is something all new riders should know, or if you're not licensed or have a bike yet, what bikes are you considering? As always, stay shiny side up. Throttle Fiend out.